Yeah, I've been really happy to be part of the program. It's been quite the experience. I'm a firm believer on if you want to improve somewhere in your life, go for people that um, know what they're doing and can coach you, and rather than figuring it out on your own. I think a lot of people have, including myself, have like friends that we've talked to. It's a very small pool of perspectives, and sometimes our friends aren't that great either in the dating scene. So jumping into a program where there's a lot of like-minded guys, some coaches that know what they're talking about, have a lot of experience themselves. It's really helpful, and yeah, very happy to be a part of it. At the beginning, the most valuable part was the actual online, just like very, this is how you do it, this is our structure, just like, okay, follow these steps. And that way it gives you kind of a foundation to build off of. And then once you kind of get into it, it's a lot better to just jump into the community and talk with the guys. The video calls with the coaches are really nice. You kind of just see that like you're not alone, and everyone else has these problems, and there's some unique situations out there, and um, you don't have to go through it alone. And the community is just super helpful to jump in there and share knowledge. Some people have different strengths in different areas. I know I'm weak in some areas that I get kind of coached a little bit more, and help from the guys. And then there's some areas that they're weak in that I get to help. So it's a really cool experience. Just look at like dating life before the program. It was scarce, if not zero. I got into my early 20s as like kind of an overweight kid, started working full time, and then tried to start building my life a lot more. Started a company and a few other businesses and started working out. And then I thought that was the answer. It's like, okay, let's start dating, and figured out that I was a lot worse at it than I thought I was. So just going before was like, I would be desperate to get onto a date, try to message some girls on some dating apps or whatever straggler like I could get. Just I had no standard. Just like if I could get a girl out, I could, and then I would try to date her. And then once I finally did get a girl out, it's just obsessed over her, and then it would fizzle out really fast because no one wants someone that's just obsessing over you right off the bat. So yeah, jumping in the program, that's definitely changed a lot. But yeah, very scarce at the beginning, and then now it's pretty frequent. After being in the program for a little while, now I'm probably on minimum one date a week, and that's just schedule wise. Maximum, actually, this week coming up, today's Monday. I've got a date tonight. I've got a pending one Tuesday. I've got a pending one Wednesday, and then Friday and Saturday I've got one. So yeah, it's pretty consistently the last 2, 3 weeks, and even kind of looking like into the future, 2 to 3 days a week. So yes, I'm getting a lot better at setting up the dates, a lot better at talking to girls, especially over text, not even in person. And yeah, just a lot better flirting. And yeah, so it's been a lot more frequent for sure. I'd say 2 to 3 on average a week now. It's taught me a lot about myself, honestly. Being on dates a lot more. I thought it was just like, well, I'm set. Like I've built myself in my 20s. Might as well just introduce someone else and we'll be good. But going out and kind of introducing someone else into my life, it's uh, realizing that like, oh man, like I might be good in some areas, but I'm actually pretty weak in like social abilities or flirting or empathy or something like that. And I'm definitely willing to learn and learning a lot about myself. And at the beginning, I honestly didn't really enjoy dates too much, but every date I go on, I actually like it more and more, and the company of someone else, and kind of just learning about myself, learning about them. I'm a lot more interested in other people now. Even my social life amongst friends and just going out to parties and stuff is just more enjoyable in general. To be able to connect with like a girl on a deeper level is just like an area in my life that I didn't know that I missed, kind of thing. I always thought like I'd be an independent guy. I don't need anybody in my life, and just I'm good. And then just if I have a girl around, then that's just icing on the cake kind of thing. But being on a few dates and meeting a few women, going a little bit further into some deeper talks and stuff, it's actually very nice to have somebody with you and be able to kind of dive a little bit deeper and build a bond and have support systems and just kind of, yeah, make a deep friendship and enjoy each other's company. I know pre-program I would go through waves of like depression almost, of like some weeks I'd be really happy, really good, especially like if I got like a new business deal, made a new PR at the gym or something like that, and that'd be a high I can only ride for so long. And then reality kind of sits back in and you're back into your own life and kind of going through ups and downs throughout life, which everyone does. But with dating, it's just kind of like it's nice to um, I don't know, have some support systems, have other people that you can talk to. I always thought like I was alone in a lot of my problems. So to be able to talk to other people, bring them into your problems and you into theirs, you can relate on a lot deeper level and just have support systems. You're not alone kind of thing. And it just overall brings you up as a person and just more fun to be like, oh wow, like this life is great with other people. We're community style human beings. Like that's our human nature. So kind of learning that like, yeah, it's not all it's cracked up to be alone. You don't get hurt as much, but sometimes it's worth it. Honestly, the what surprised me the most coming into the program is just the dating scene in general. I have a very traditional upbringing from my parents, and I was raised in a Christian household, and it was like borderline. You find one girl, and that's who you're gonna date, obsess over each other, and you're married forever, kind of thing. But that never really struck with me. And so dating is a lot more interesting going through the program. Like, wow, I can actually date a few girls and just see what I like rather than if they like me. And that's been a big perspective kind of change for me is rather than proving myself to them, I'm kind of approaching it more of having them prove themselves to me. Like, do they even work in my life? And that's been a huge change for sure. And then, yeah, a lot more like, oh, wow, this actually can be an abundance thing where I thought it couldn't be. And then going on dates, I thought before pre-program, like 1 or 2 dates, your boyfriend, girlfriend, like you don't even have to have a talk, nothing like that. That's just you're in a relationship and then you date for a year or whatever and see if you get married. But now it's like, yeah, I'm going on, like I have one girl that I'm on 4 dates with, another I'm on third date with, and then I have a few other first dates kind of lined up and just kind of being able to be in abundance like that when one drops off or doesn't like you or it's something that she does that is a deal breaker for you, it's not something that like you can ignore and just like, no, I want to stay with this girl, I'm desperate, like I need a girl in my life. You can be like, okay, this is a deal breaker, let's break the deal. So you drop it and then you don't have to have any second thoughts and can move on to the next one. It definitely is just giving me new perspectives almost every week that I'm going on dates and learning. As time's going on, I'm just getting more and more better at communicating. I'm getting better at my social abilities. Not even like I was saying earlier with dating alone, but socially. I have deeper relationship with friends now. There was a lot of times where I wouldn't get invites to parties. I would just find out about the parties and be like, hey, can I come? And they're like, oh, yeah, sure, I guess you can come. Now I'm actually getting the invites, and now they're like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? And let's go out. And like, oh, man, we should hit the clubs together or something like that. So, yeah, even outside of dating, it's a lot better just socially. It honestly builds a lot of confidence in myself, being able to get those invites from friends and like people. I'm starting to realize that people actually want me around them, where I assumed that they would tolerate me rather than want me around. Um, I knew I was never really a negative influence around groups of people because they never denied me coming out or, yeah, you can come out kind of thing. But now it's kind of like, a positive influence in everyone's lives. And I'm getting a lot more like real conversations with friends, a lot like deeper connections. And yeah, it's just overall a confidence boost. I've been getting a few compliments from friends and family of, hey, I've noticed your confidence has actually grown a lot. And like, this is a really cool season of your life, I've noticed. So it's gone to a point to where people are even noticing changes in my persona and just image of myself. So yeah, it's a really cool experience. Oh, the time saved from the program, honestly, shoot, you probably couldn't even count it. I mean, I started the program at 27, and I probably wanted to do something into the dating realm and social realm for 5, 6 years before that, maybe coming out of my 20s, and just like it never gained any traction. Never went on any dates, never really had any like deep friendships. Of course, I had the friends from high school that everyone has, but it wasn't like a frequent thing. And then going through the program, and just like less than a year, I think it's only a couple months actually. It's been astronomical changes. So I'd say that potentially could have saved me plus another 5, 10 years, if ever, getting to that point. Yeah, I would recommend the program to somebody else. I think there's a lot of dating advice nowadays on YouTube, and I think a lot of people have delved into that, including myself. But then you get a lot of the kind of toxic perspectives. You have a lot of the pickup artists, or just the how to sleep with the girl on the first date kind of perspectives, or like that's the goal. And it's like going through the program, that is a possibility through the program. And if it's a mutual interest with each other, then you can do that kind of stuff. But that's not the goal. The goal is to find high quality women to date, and eventually a girlfriend. At least that was for me. I know I've talked to a few coaches, some other guys, and different guys have different goals. And the program also is very flexible in that realm of some guys, they want to only find a girl, or even Christian guys that are highly religious. They don't want to sleep with a girl until marriage, and that's still very accepting of that. So yeah, I think it's a good program to recommend to others for sure. It's very flexible and very good advice, not just on dating, but even in life. And it's not any like bad perspectives, very positive as well.